In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, and may the peace and mercy of Allah be upon His last and beloved Messenger Muhammad, and may the peace and mercy of Allah be upon you all. The title of this episode is The Superiority of the Quran in the Field of Physics. Now, this episode is in a series of episodes about the miracle of the Quran, our time. And this miracle is that the Quran is superior to the main theme of the people of this age, which is knowledge. And this superiority is in so many aspects, among which, for example, that the Quran is one book which contains the knowledge of everything, knowledge of physics, chemistry, engineering, jurisprudence, everything. So if the believer shows that the Quran is one book which contains knowledge of everything, so this is a great sign of Allah God Almighty, which testifies that the Quran is from the Creator, because no one can have the knowledge of everything, no one can encompass knowledge of everything. The only one is Allah God Almighty, and no human, regardless of how clever he is, can encompass all verses of knowledge. Now, the other aspect of the superiority of the Quran is that the Quran achieves the knowledge of Allah God Almighty. The Quran achieves what people fail to achieve with their knowledge, and this episode is an example of that. For example, in physics, people have tried and did research for hundreds of years to find the basic units of energy and matter, to find the answer, what is the design and function of the most basic units comprising energy fields and matter in creation. And one of the most famous theories in this is called string theory. And even that theory, it failed to have a comprehensive understanding of the basic unit of energy and matter. So this is an aspect that people failed to achieve the desired goal in. Now I will show now, Allah God willing, how from the Quran Allah God Almighty teaches us the design and function of the basic unit of energy and matter. So we see how the Quran achieves something that people fail to do. Now, how is this so? By pondering upon the verses of the Quran. Allah God Almighty states in the Quran in chapter 51 verse 7 the following: and the heaven containing weaved ropes. And the heaven containing weaved ropes. Now the heaven is the space surrounding a central object. For example, the heaven of the earth is the space surrounding the earth. The heaven of the atom is the space surrounding the atom. So Allah states that the heaven contains weaved ropes. So, now if we think about the heaven is composed of matter and energy. Heaven contains matter, the thing that you feel and touch, and energy, the driving force. Allah states that the heaven is composed of weaved ropes, meaning 3 strings weave together to form a rope. So, since the heaven is composed of energy and matter, and since Allah states that the heaven is composed of weaved ropes, so we can put one and one together and get the answer that the most basic unit comprising energy fields and matter is 3 strings weaved together rope. It's a weaved rope comprised of 3 strings weaved together. So we understand from the Quran the design of the basic units of energy and matter. So this is the basic unit of energy and matter design as learned from the Noble Quran. And since Allah also says in the Noble Quran that His creation is made the process of assembly, meaning assembling a small unit to produce the final outcome, this means that we have billions and billions of these weaved ropes, these basic units. Now how they are arranged, we can learn the arrangement of these basic units from the Noble Quran as well, where Allah states in the Noble Quran that He has made from water every living thing, which means that Allah designed all creation with the same design of water. And since water is, the atoms in water are arranged in a hexagonal pattern, we can deduce from this that these basic units are arranged in a hexagonal pattern as well. So we can learn that these basic units are assembled in hexagonal cells, both lengthwise and widthwise. So here we have the shape, the design of the basic units of energy fields and matter. Now, This is the design. 3 strings weaved together to form a rope, a weaved rope. Now what's the function of this? Now we know the design. What's the function? Allah states the function, and He teaches us the function of these ropes in the Noble Quran, where Allah states that among His signs that you see the earth barren, and when Allah sends down water, it vibrates and grows. It vibrates and grows. So we can learn from this Quranic verse that life, it needs vibration to produce its energy, to provide its energy. And thus, we can learn that these ropes are vibrating ropes. They are vibrating, like a vibrating string. So, and these vibrations, when a string vibrates, it becomes shorter, because there is amount of energy and matter is pulled up, so it becomes shorter. So when it becomes shorter, it produces a pulling action on its ends. When the string vibrates, it becomes shorter, so it produces a tension, a pulling action on the whatever is on its ends. So we can learn that the basic unit of energy, its main function, to produce a pulling action on its ends. And if we link this to energy fields, for example gravitational energy, we see that gravitational energy has a pulling action on its ends. Also, for example, magnetic attraction, electrical, the electric field that is produced from a positive and negative charge, thermal energy, cold and hot. So all energy fields, there is kind of a pulling action on its ends, which exactly we can learn this from the Noble Quran, to perfect agreement with the deduction from the Quran. So the design, 3 strings weaved together, function, produce pulling action on the ends. So we see, brothers and sisters, the superiority of the Noble Quran in the field of physics. Example to demonstrate this, if we think about the gravitational energy, when a person is on the earth and he tries to jump, he feels like something is pulling him downward. This can be best explained by knowing that the energy field, the gravitational energy, is composed of weaved strings, weaved ropes, pulling him downwards. So we see how to practice the Quran in our life. So, brothers and sisters, Allah God Almighty shows us this to guide people to the path of Allah God Almighty, and to make them and to attract them to His book, the Quran. And Allah God Almighty wants the believer to be the teacher of others and not the one on the receiving end. And to know more details about this topic, please visit my website at www.quran-miracle.com, and you can email me at zaidquran@yahoo.com, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all.